This is my first opportunity to participate in the speech. One of my aspirations is to be given a great talk at the TED conference. So I'm hoping this will be something of a practice for me. My topic of the day is Bejolted. I don't know whether anybody has watched the TV show Bewitched. There's a certain amount of surprise, certain amount of mission, certain amount of challenges in my speech. So you will hear some of that. I was born in Taiwan, in the city called Tainan, south part of Taiwan. On one hot summer day, very humid, and was born into an environment where there was a lot of firework. So I was born on the 4th of July. It just happened that there was a huge military presence in Taiwan at that time, and people were celebrating my birthday. And continue to do so in the next few years. About 5 years old, when I was playing with the toy car when I was a little kid, and I saw this, the battery ran out on me, and I was thinking that maybe if I plug the wire into the outlet, I would get more energized, the toy car. And what happened is I did that, and I feel this jolt throughout my body, and I feel exhilarated, fascinated by this electricity, this force. And from there on, that paves the way for me to study electrical engineering. So during that time, I also played with different appliances. I was very into appliances, and at one point I was aware of a doorbell, and when people push the doorbell, they get electrocuted, get electric shock. So there was I drive a lot of the door-to-door solicitor out of the way, and never bothered to show up at the door anymore, including the family members as well. So growing up in Taiwan is very fascinating because I was living in the compound of 20 cousins, and there were a lot of host plays and all that. One of our enjoyed the pastime is to fire the firework rackets to a neighbor's kid, and we often have a lot of wars going on. That was a lot of fun. But that came to an end about 1975 when the Vietnam War ended, and at that time there was a lot of fear in Southeast Asia that Taiwan would be the next communist, will be taken over by communism, especially when you have Big Brother, mainland China, breaking down the neck. So my parents decided at that time they want to get out of the country, and under the frightening prospect of being liberated by the communists. So we moved, coming to America, when I was about 15 years old. And I joined the high school right away, and also working in the restaurant business, because at that time we didn't have a livelihood. So my parents bought a restaurant, and we started to help out in the restaurant business. In the high school was not all that eventful. There's just a few things that happened. At that time there was a affirmative action. I don't know if people here are old enough to know about the affirmative action, where there's busing going on. So they bus a lot of the poor kids from the South LA area, South Central area, to our area, and vice versa. So there was a lot of tension between minorities. Being a minority, also myself, was free from all that conflict, but always run into certain conflict at that time. So there was not much fun when you have only 10 Chinese kids in the whole entire high school, and you were one of the minority there. A lot of tension, a lot of conflict between the different ethnics. Then I decided to take, there was one time I was surrounded by a gang of the black gang, and it was very frightful of my life. And I found out that eventually I got out of it through some kind of trickery and able to escape unscathed. So in the career, at that time I moved on to into electrical engineering, starting the electrical engineering in UCLA, and I moved on and then took on a job in the computer industry. And if you know about computer industry, there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of downsizing and all that stuff. So a lot of bejolted moment. That's what I defined it when you have to lay off people or being laid off. And my first 2 jobs at Unisys, at Amdor, they were like eventually we got laid off, got closed down, and all that. At 20, when I later on about 1995, I joined Sun Microsystems, able to stay there for 20 years. I was there for 20 years and 1995. So about there was a lot of ups and downs in Sun Microsystems, and eventually got bought up by Oracle. And last August, I decided to be bejolted again, take on new challenges, coming to FireEye. So it's been quite a fascinating journey. And on the personal front, I also look at I like to take challenges in the hobby area. I like to work on, when people do composting, I do bokashi composting. When people do regular gardening, I do hydroponics. I do tropical plants. Every time there's a frost alert, I gotta go out and put a blanket on my trees. So I'd like to enjoy new challenges in areas. So with that, I think I will call upon every one of you to rise up in facing your challenges and rise above it. And I'll see every one of you at the tech conference someday.
I love it how a bolt of lightning was something that you found to be inspiring.
So thank you, Derek, for presenting basically your passion to speak at a tech conference. It was a wonderful sort of lead-in speech to get to know yourself, and there was great emotion that was that came about from like trying to get the electricity from the wall. I've done exactly the same thing, so I have somewhat of the same experience. Not going into engineering, but definitely in a very similar manner. The preparation was good. I actually wasn't even able to tell that you had notes until a little bit later in the speech that I saw it. And it was only about the size of your hand. So it was, and you used them well. It was spoken very clearly and audibly. And the one thing that I would say is that the opening was just wonderfully done. It covered exactly what we wanted to get us engaged. Where I felt that closer to the closing was that it felt a little bit rushed. I'm not sure if that was exactly the case, but it felt like it didn't necessarily close out or tie into the exact piece that you had stated at the beginning. And once again, the piece that I thought that was most impactful to me was the learning about electricity at the beginning.